everyone, and welcome back to Phantom Sports Industries. My name is Joe Soisson. I'm a contributor for Phantom's hockey content. Today, we're looking at the NHL Draft. It starts up this weekend on June 27th. And since I've been covering some junior hockey recently, as well as looking at NHL rosters, I thought I'd give you my predictions for the first 10 picks of this year's draft. So this is how I think the first 10 picks of this year's NHL Draft will pan out. Starting off with the number one overall pick for the New York Islanders, there's no clear number one skater this year, so there's a couple different directions the Islanders could go, but ultimately I think they go with Matthew Schaefer. He's the highest rated defenseman of the class. He had 22 points in 17 games, as well as a plus 21 plus minus with the Erie Otters. And he's also been on Canada's U18 and U20 World Junior teams. But what Schaefer offers to the Islanders is an immediate answer to their current dilemma. See, half the Islanders' starting defensemen are already on long-term contracts. The other half of them just finished their contract years. So now they're unrestricted free agents, which means the Islanders have to decide who they want to re-sign between players like Dobson, Romanov, DeAngelo, Boqvist, Perunovic. And assuming they don't all get re-signed, there's going to be roster spots open. And who better to fill those spots than a number one overall pick? And even if the Islanders don't use him now, Bridgeport could absolutely use another defender, which is why I think Matthew Schaefer is this year's number one overall pick. The number two overall pick belongs to the San Jose Sharks, and with it, I think they take the center from the Saginaw Spirit, Michael Misa. The Sharks need a lot, but their young offensive core was really exciting to watch last year, and I think Michael Misa would fit right into their system. Misa was the highest point-scoring forward in the OHL. He was second in the league in goals with 62 in 65 games. And he was a special teams machine last year. He was second in the league in power play goals and had 4 short-handed goals, which was tied for the 7th most in the OHL. So the Sharks would get scoring depth in the same age range as guys like Celebrini and Smith, and they would also get help for both their power play and penalty kill units. Misa checks a lot of boxes for what the Sharks need right now. Pick number 3 for the Chicago Blackhawks. Chicago's offense is trending upwards. Last year, they finished 26th in goals per game average. And when you look at this lineup, they've already got plenty of centers. What they don't have is depth on the outside, which means they need another winger, and the highest graded winger of the class is Porter Martone. Martone had 98 points in 57 games, which tied him for the 7th most points in the OHL. He was also a captain at Brampton and a captain of Team Canada's U18 World Junior team that would go on to win the gold medal this year. He's a 6'3", 208-pound power forward that can pass and shoot the puck equally effectively. I was really impressed by his vision and the passing lanes that he was able to find. And again, there's a lot of good shooters on Chicago's roster. What they need is another setup guy. And outside of Ilya Mikheyev, they really don't have another true right winger. So I think Martone is the best fit for the Blackhawks right now. At number 4, the Utah Mammoth. Utah's offense did not hit expectations last year. They need another playmaker, and that is exactly what James Hagens is. Hagens had the benefit of being on a line with Ryan Leonard and Gabe Perreault at Boston College, but he learned a lot from them his freshman year, and he averaged a point per game with the Eagles. Then at the World Juniors, he was named Tournament MVP of the U18 team, scoring 22 points in 7 games. And this year, on the U20 team, he had another 9 points in 7 games. And he was a starter on that team, by the way, and they would go on to win the gold medal as well. He proved to be one of Boston College's best skaters. He's adaptive, versatile, and there's a lot of good pairings that he could work with at Utah, making him another big-time weapon for the Mammoth. And number 5, the Nashville Predators. For a team that had so many big-time playoff performers in previous years, their offense could not get right in the regular season. So I think they go for a forward. I think they're the first team to dip their toes into the European pool this draft, and I think they take Anton Frundell. Frundell had 25 points in 29 games, but that's a great ratio considering he was essentially a third-line forward. He helped his team promote in the Swedish league. He's 6 foot even, 196 pounds, and he can be physical. I loved the way he pressures the puck on the forecheck. But he also showed the ability to stick handle well. And I think the big key here for Nashville is that they need more forwards who can create chances. And with Frundell's game sense, I think he can create some turnovers and set up some of these big-time scorers like Stamkos, O'Reilly, and Marchessault. Nashville does have a lot of centers already, but they gave a good number of Milwaukee Admirals chances to play up this year. So there's time for Frundell to make a good first impression or grow in this system. On to number 6 for the Philadelphia Flyers. 6 of the Flyers' top 7 point scorers are wingers. They need more centers, which is why I think they go for Caleb Desnoyers. In his rookie season at Moncton, Desnoyers had 56 points in 60 games, and he improved on that rate this year, scoring 84 points in 56 games. Then in the playoffs, he put up 24 points in just 13 games, and Moncton would go on to win the QMJHL this year. He's got a snappy wrist shot, and he can drive through the middle of the ice. Philly's offense did not take a lot of shots this year. They finished 26th in total shots. Desnoyers will help fix that problem. I think the Flyers will love this pick. Lucky number 7 falls to the Boston Bruins. With the trades they've made, Boston's core looks very different nowadays, but the culture remains the same, which is why I think they draft Brady Martin here at number 7. There's a lot of likable qualities about Brady Martin. He had 72 points in 57 games with the Greyhounds. He was named alternate captain this season and was an alternate captain of Canada's U18 team, which won the gold medal this year. At the World Juniors, he also had 11 points in 7 games. He's a combination of potent offense and powerful physical play. He is known for his checking, which is something you won't hear about a lot of other top prospects. Boston's got a lot of centers, but they need another goal scorer, and that's where I think Brady Martin can fill in for the Bruins. At number 8, the Seattle Kraken. Seattle's offense had its struggles last year, but found itself by the end of the year. They finished 16th in goals per game average. So I think Seattle goes for defense here. I think they draft a local star, and I think they go for Radim Mrtka. In his rookie season with the Thunderbirds, Mrtka had 35 points in 43 games, but 32 of those points were assists. So what does that mean? Well, if you watch his highlights, it means he gets the puck to the net. He does a fantastic job of holding the blue line, and he's got the vision to find the angles to either get the puck on net or to a player that can redirect it on net. And on top of that, at just 17 years old, he is 6'6", 198 pounds. So he can play physical and he is hard to move. And when you look at Seattle's lineup, there's room for another defenseman. Dunn struggles to stay healthy. Alexiak doesn't get many points. Evans and Mahura are promising, but both just finished their contract years. So I think the combination of the type of defenseman Mrtka is and the familiarity of playing hockey in the Pacific Northwest make him a perfect pickup for the Seattle Kraken. Picking at number 9, the Buffalo Sabres. Believe it or not, Buffalo finished the year with a top 10 offense in the league. They were 10th in goals per game average. And that was while swinging players up and down from the Rochester lineup, as well as making some trades at the trade deadline. So I think they look to bolster their defensive lineup this time around, and they look at Soisson from the Barrie Colts. Aitchison showed some real growth in the OHL. His first year, he had 3 points in 23 games. The next year, he had 39 points in 64 games. And this year, he popped 59 points in 64 games. But he scored 18 more goals than the year prior. He also has been consistent in the playoffs, putting up 12 points in 16 games this year. And he is a physical defenseman, not afraid to lower the shoulder or drop the gloves with anybody. Now, admittedly, this doesn't solve Buffalo's odd problem of having too many left-handed defensemen, but I think that's something they could address in free agency. And they need someone who can slow down some of these faster-paced offenses. And who better to do that than Soisson Aitchison? And last but not least, picking at number 10, the Anaheim Ducks. The Ducks need help on both sides of the puck. On offense, they finished 30th in goals per game average, and defensively, they allowed the most shots against in the league. So I think Anaheim looks for a two-way forward here, and I think they look to Roger McQueen from the Brandon Wheat Kings with this pick. McQueen showed a ton of promise in the WHL. He's a 6'5", 192-pound right-handed center, but his draft stock fell after he got hurt early this season. So he only had 20 points in 17 games this year. But the year prior, he had 51 points in 53 games, plus another 5 points in 4 playoff games, and 4 of those playoff points were goals. And Anaheim is in the interesting position where the core of their offense are these young, creative forwards. So they need a shooter, which they'll get in McQueen, who can help finish these plays that guys like Paling and McTavish and Gauthier are setting up, while also adding a big body that can block shots and help the back end for Anaheim. So there you have it. Those are my predictions for this year's NHL Draft. Now, the one thing I didn't really account for when making this list is the ability to have teams trade back or trade into the top 10. Just too hard to predict that type of movement. So assuming these are the 10 teams that will be picking first in the NHL Draft, who do you think will be drafted? Who do you think will go number 1 overall? Do you think there will be any trades or any movement? Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're down there, if you like our content, be sure to scroll down and click the like button on this video. Also, be sure to click the subscribe button to get notified of future uploads to this very channel. And be sure to check out our official website. That's phantomsportsindustries.com. Once again, my name has been Joe Soisson, and from the rest of Phantom Sports Industries, we hope to see more of you next time.